up, guys? So today's film up for discussion is the third film in the daft comedy spy franchise Johnny English, and it's called Johnny English Strikes Again. This one's directed by David Kerr and once again is written by William Davies, who wrote the scripts for the previous two Johnny English films, and of course stars the king of facial expressions, Rowan Atkinson, as the hapless MI7 agent Johnny English. I just want to admit for the record, I was actually a big fan of the first Johnny English film. I thought it was a delightfully silly, fun mockery of the whole James Bond spy genre, and I thought Rowan Atkinson was great in it too. The second one, didn't like so much, and the third one, oh my god, it was painful to watch in places. Yes, I am an adult, and I know that this film is primarily aimed at kids, but it's been a good while since I went to the cinema where there was a healthy mix of both kids and adults, and just not hearing any laughter throughout. Nothing was landing in this film. I love Rowan Atkinson. He was one of my heroes growing up, but not even his righteous commitment to physical comedy can make this film feel watchable. At least not pleasantly watchable. The plot sees Johnny English, who is now a geography teacher, come back to MI7 after a cyber attack outs all their agents, so they need someone who's not on the records, so they bring in the old relic, Johnny English. That's one of the themes. The old relic-style agent against the digital age. You know, digital versus analog. Sometimes there's no school like the old school. That's kind of the main theme of this. Reunited with his trusted partner Boff from the first movie, who's played by Ben Miller, it's up to the two of them to figure out who's attacking Britain and bring them to justice. I would say let's start with the positives, but honestly, I'm having trouble thinking of anything that I liked in this film. Off the bat, guys, the script in this by Davies just feels flimsy and lazy. It's merely just a bunch of loosely stitched mishaps which showcase Rowan Atkinson's limber physique to the max. There's barely any semblance of plot other than Britain being cyber attacked, but what we watch unfold just feels really random and sometimes irrelevant to what the plot is supposed to be. The dancing scene is a prime example of this, or the car chase sequence in the south of France. Utterly pointless. And there's even a virtual reality scene where Johnny English puts on a VR mask and starts causing havoc around London. I could have forgiven these scenes if they were actually funny, but I didn't laugh once. So the plot just feels very scattered and all over the place. There's no real flow from scene to scene. It's just a mess. Don't get me wrong, I love watching Rowan Atkinson do his thing, but honestly, when it came to the physical comedy that he brings to this film, it feels like we've seen this buffoonish behaviour before in Mr. Bean and the other Johnny English films. He doesn't really bring anything new to the table. I hate to say it, but sometimes you can't teach an old dog new tricks. All the supporting characters I couldn't have cared less about. Jake Lacey's villain, Jason Volter, feels about as exciting or as charismatic as a ham sandwich. And Olga Kurilenko's character? I'm not even sure why she was there. She plays a Russian spy in this, but her character has no agency. She does absolutely nothing to service this plot, yet she gets a fair share of the screen time. She's just there as a token beautiful woman, which is all the more tragic because she was a former Bond girl in Quantum of Solace, and here she's just playing a blander version of her most famous role. I just felt bad for her. Emma Thompson gets one fiery, passionate scene in this as the Prime Minister, but even she feels wasted here. And even Ben Miller's Boff feels underutilized. They try to develop him a little bit more by saying he got married since the last time we saw him in the first film, but when we actually finally meet his wife, who is a captain of a submarine in the Navy, I wasn't even sure if the woman we met was his wife because they barely exchange any dialogue between each other, and I didn't get a single little drop of a husband and wife vibe between them. It was just so poorly written. Plus, there's also some dodgy green screen effects, like when the submarine surfaces in Scotland. It was just very noticeably fake. I also didn't like that every time the narrative cut back to Emma Thompson's Prime Minister in London, it felt the need to actually put a title card on the screen saying London. It did this like 3 times. It was like, okay, we've seen the skyline of London 3 times and you keep reminding us that it's London. We're not idiots. It's just like unnecessary. And even the finale of this film felt dull. I didn't think there was anything funny or exciting about watching Atkinson stomp around in a suit of shining armour. There was barely anything in this scene that was holding my attention. I can't imagine kids doing much better with it. I honestly don't think this film will please either kids or adults. Right, let's ask those 3 questions. Would I watch this again? No, once was enough. Would I recommend it for you guys? Definitely not, okay? It's not even 1/10 as funny as the first Johnny English film, and yet, do not waste your money on this. It's not good for either kids or adults, okay? Avoid it. And what score am I going to give it out of 10? Pains me to say it, but I'm just going to have to give Johnny English Strikes Again a 2 out of 10. There you go, guys. Those are my thoughts on Johnny English Strikes Again, but this is just one bloke's opinion. I want to know yours. If you guys have seen the film, be sure to let me know what you thought of it. And also, my quick question for you guys today is, what is your favourite Rowan Atkinson performance? It can be from a TV show or a film. For me, I would say my favourite of his TV work would be the entire collection of Mr. Bean. I've watched all those episodes so many times, love all of them. And for film, I absolutely loved him in Rat Race, which is one of my favourite films. I am Enrico Pallini. So yeah, whatever you think, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. If you guys do like this content, please don't forget to click that subscribe button. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Stardust, all that information is in the description link below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Hearfield, and I'll see you next time.